Okay, I personally think that this, or Spanish, because unless you know unless you already know Spanish, it's going to be hard to teach. But AP language is the hardest for me to teach because we barely take notes. It's all in class. So I don't really have much material to go off of. Um, so like unless you're in my class, it's kind of going to be hard to get. Probably. Don't quote me on that. I might be wrong. Who knows? I might be the best teacher in the world to some people. I don't know. I'm scared going into this. So I have my notebook that has like two things of notes. Like two pages, not 2 pages, but like you know what I mean. It's not much. Whatever. Let's just get right into it. So here's an acronym that's supposed to help us with rhetorical analysis. SOAP. S is for speaker, who or what voice or what persona, biases, credibility, things like that. O is for occupation or context, or occasion, sorry. I don't know why I said occupation. Occasion or context. A is for audience, who's this intended for. Purpose is what the author is trying to do. Just because we are reading something does not mean we are the intended audience. So, like, if the president were to make a speech about Medicare and Medicaid, this is the U.S. president, is that directed towards students? Probably not. That's all I have to say for that. And then P is for purpose. What is the author trying to do? So is this a call to action? Is it informative? Is it defining a word? That's really all that is. It's important to choose a specific speaker that connects with the audience that the piece or media is created for. So like age, gender, social status, etc. There's 2 types of purpose. What should the audience think or feel? What should the reader think, feel, or do after it is finished? It is also important to balance and coordinate all parts of SOAP so that it works smoothly and gets the message across to the speaker. So context is the bigger picture. The social and cultural background surrounding the other elements in the rhetorical situation. Exigence is the moment or moments that prompt the speaker to make a claim. Context influences exigence. Then we all know what purpose means, I'm pretty sure. Okay, so modes notes. So the mode is a type of essay. It is the method used to develop the essay. So there's narration, description, exemplification, compare and contrast, process analysis, classification and division, cause and effect, definition, and argumentation. Now, we're going to go in all of these in more detail. The narrative is a piece of writing that focuses on a particular story from personal experience, examines how events affect a person's emotions, beliefs, and outlook on life, can focus on any event in a person's life, and can be a memoir, reflection, experiencing as a participant, or as an observer. Description focuses on the 5 senses. It gives the reader a vivid idea of the subject or what is being represented. Mostly a style used in other kinds of essays. Exemplification provides the reader with examples to illustrate a point. Uses quotations, facts, narratives, statistics, details, analogies, opinions, observations, etc. Helps avoid generalization, makes the subject more specific, which we will use in our argumentation FRQ, or free response questions, when the exam rolls around on May 13th, I want to say. It's the third latest out of all mine. I'm doing all these in like when I should be done with them order sort of thing. Compare and contrast examines the characteristics of two or more topics. Two or more topics. Highlights interesting or important similarities and differences between topics or subjects. Can be used to show which topic or subject is better than the other. Can be used to show the difference between two words or ideas. Or subjects, or etc. Process analysis. Provides step-by-step directions or guidance. Discusses how to do something. They are the recipes or technical brochures of essay writing. Classification and division. Takes a whole and splits it up into parts and separates them into categories, usually in one paragraph, but can also be made as an essay. Divides a complex and difficult topic into subtopics for clarity. Cause and effect. Shows how two or more events are connected, explains why or how something happened. And it's a chain of events. Definition. Uses various techniques to tell the reader the meaning of a term, idea, or concept, often mixed with other rhetorical styles. Starts off with a simple definition, turns it into an extended one. Important rhetorical mode. We just completely jumped. Argumentation is an important rhetorical mode. It makes a clear assertion about a topic issue. Academic argument focuses on logic, not emotions. So trying to think. Is there anything else in here that is notes based? I don't think so, actually. Since when did I put Spanish word in here? I think that's it for my notebook notes. But to keep the episode going, I'm going to scavenge through my old papers, to see if there's anything else about rhetorical analysis that I can find. The thing about rhetorical analysis is that you don't want to just state what is used, like for example alliteration or rhymes or ethos, pathos, logos. You don't want to just just say, hey, this is what's used. Why did they use it? Why did they use alliteration? Why did they use a rhyme? Why did they use I can't think of another one right now. But why would they use all that? I cannot find a single friggin' paper. That was a fun text. I really just can't find anything, man. Okay. I am going to leave with that as homework, quote unquote, for y'all. I want y'all to tell me in the context or context comments on what you think about it. Here's diction words. I guess that might be helpful. Euphemania. Where the frick? We did a bunch of... This is our definition unit, so I don't think there's anything else about actual rhetorical analysis in there. So diction words. I'm not gonna go over all of these because you may know a good chunk of them. Pedantic. Overly concerned with minute details or formalisms. Euphemistic. Substituting a mild term for a harsher or distasteful one. So, like, this is often used in, like, I'm trying to think. Like, for example, like, when we talk about a car crash, we say accident. Oh, it was an accident. So-and-so got in an accident the other week. When in reality, it was just literally a car crash. Pretentious, characterized by assumption of dignity or importance. Sensuous, of or relating to or deprived from the senses. Colloquial. Characteristic of or appropriate to ordinary or familiar conversation rather than formal speech or writing. So it's informal. Moralistic, characterized by or displaying a concern with mortality. Idiomatic, peculiar or characteristic to a particular language or dialect. Esoteric, understood by or meant for only the select few who have special knowledge or interest. Confidential, basically. Bombastic, of speech or writing, high-sounding, high-flown, inflated, pretentious, pompous, grandiose. I don't know how to pronounce that last word. Abstruse, hard to understand. Grotesque, odd or unnatural. Insipid, without distinctive, interesting, or stimulated qualities. So bland. Picturesque, strikingly graphic or vivid. Homespun, plain, unpolished, unsophisticated. Provincial. I'm struggling with my words today. Belonging or peculiar to some particular province. So, like, local. Trite. Don't quote me on that. I don't know if that's the right way to say it. Lacking in freshness or effectiveness because of constant use of excessive repetition. Archaic. Marked by characteristics of an earlier period. Or primitive. Verbose, characterized by the use of many or too many words. So it's wordy. Brusque, I think. Abrupt in manner. Or cacophonous, I think, actually. Having harsh or unpleasant sound. So it's like dissonant, or strident, or grating, or ruckus. I'm not going to go over the rest of these because this is a two-sided paper and it's already eating up a lot of time. So we're just going to set that aside. Okay. I don't really have anything else. That would be a good homework thing too. But I'm not going to do it this time. Because I would have to take a picture or type it out and Yeah, that seems like a lot of work for good old Karma here. This might be helpful. I'm sorry. I did not plan for this recording because this is the same day as my AP Calculus recording. And I just really didn't have a plan. This is one of the classes where I need to have a plan. Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, so I think I have the rhetorical analysis general analytic rubric. So you need a thesis, an arguable thesis. You need to be able to defend it. You need to be able to not just restate the prompt. Like, it doesn't even need to be clever. You just need a thesis that says, hey, they did this because of this, or in order to do this. It has to be opinionated. So, like, someone else could think, oh, they did that to do that, not that. Like, you get the idea. There's only one point for this, but it's probably the most important point you get, because without a proper thesis, you can't really do anything else. Okay, so evidence and commentary. You need to have textual references that are relevant to your thesis. So, if, let's say so-and-so uses alliteration to mock the sound of a snake because they're talking about a snake. They did that. They mocked the sound of a snake in order to make the reader feel like they are there with a snake in front of them. I know that sounds kind of dumb, but that's still a thesis. So, like, they make a quote saying the author says slithering around on the sandy something. I don't know. That actually kind of works, but like the shifting sand. There we go. But that's more of a whatever. So, regardless, I don't know if my mic's picking up my voice really well, but whatever. Regardless, I think that you just need to have specific evidence and specific commentary. So you need to specifically say what it is doing and how it is relevant. Your last point is sophistication. So, you need to craft a thesis that demands nuanced consideration of textual evidence. Explain the significance or relevance of an interpretation. Engage in concession, rebuttal, and or refutation of other arguments. Recognizing and accounting for contradictions and complexities. Making effective rhetorical choices. Utilizing a prose style that is especially vivid, persuasive, convincing, or appropriate to the student's argument. So essentially, just do your absolute best with sophistication. It is very rare that a student gets it, I've heard. But basically, as long as you are really trying to sell this point with good evidence and good commentary and a good thesis, you can possibly get that sophistication point. Like I said, it's very hard to do so, but you can most likely do it. Next time I talk about AP Lang, or AP Language, I'm using a lot of slang, because it's just a lot to say. But, oh, sorry. Excuse me. If you are, I'm trying to think. I'm losing it. If you are, oh my gosh. If you are tuning in, next time we are going over argumentative essays instead of rhetorical analysis. So there is something I'd like to go over. I don't know how helpful this will be, but it's my teacher showed it to us, so it must be related to our rhetorical analysis stuff. So, gender neutral language. So this is the first exercise. We're only doing the first exercise. So you have to come up with something that is completely gender neutral, has no I'm trying to think. Basically, like, for example, man would be male, earthbound sentient with life form with XY chromosomes. Something like that. I know it sounds stupid, but like, whatever. So I'm gonna give you, I don't want to give you all the words, so I'm gonna star them. So when I come back to them to put in the comments or whatever, I'm gonna give you history. I'm gonna give you the common man. I'm gonna give you postman, human, saleswoman, housewife, and maniac. Because I really want to see what yours are for those. But remember, they have to be completely gender neutral. Sorry this, I am so sorry that this is so short, but it's really just because I have a lack of things to say for, rhetorical analysis. I just don't know what to do with, this class for this series, so yeah. Spanish may or may not be worse. I don't know yet because I haven't recorded anything for it. That's actually probably going to be my next recording. But, yeah. So I'll leave you with that homework of the gender neutral language, which I will repeat. History, the common man, postman, sorry, it's one word. Human, saleswoman, housewife, maniac. History, okay, I'm going to repeat it one more time. History, the common man, postman, human, saleswoman, housewife, maniac. So if you do want to answer these in the comments, I'd be happy to see whatever you have, because I do have answers on my own, and I just think it would be really nice to see, like, a fresh view on things, if you know what I mean. But anyways, yeah, that's it. I hope y'all have a good day, and I will see you Monday. No, not Monday, sorry. I will see you Wednesday. Bye.